We've had a pretty good start to the season, but we desperately needed to strengthen in midfield before the transfer window ended. We have brought a couple of players in, but is it enough? Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to the Liberty Stadium in Swansea. And if you are a first-time visitor, then why not subscribe, watch, like and comment. Help the channel to grow and help us to support the very worthwhile cause that you can see scrolling above. And we have had a very good start to the season, and we are in second, 3 points behind Manchester City, 2 points ahead of Liverpool, but we have a game in hand today against Aston Villa, and so winning against Villa could take us back to the top. But first of all, let's have a look what's happened in the transfer market. And we were short in midfield, and we've brought two midfielders in. One is a young prospect, Moses Etim, who we've brought in from Midtjylland for £7.5 million. He's 19 years old, and he looks like he's going to become a very, very good player. He's got very good attributes for his age as a central midfielder, and he looks the business to me. And hopefully with good development and a good training program for him, we can make a good player of him. So he's come in and he's one for the future. And someone we've been stalking for quite a while is Patrick Berg, and we have never been able to afford him, but his price came down on deadline day and we've brought him in now. He's 28 years old, and he is a very, very good defensive midfielder, and that will be good news because we can move Pobega up to central midfield and he can take the defensive midfield slot. We brought him in for £28.5 million, and so we've pretty much spent the entire transfer budget now. And in terms of the schedule, what's happened on the pitch since you were last here, you saw us beating Crystal Palace in the first game of the season, and then Chelsea. And it was a very strange game, Chelsea. We pretty much dominated proceedings, but we were unable to put our chances away. Vitinha had a very good chance there and failed to put it away. And it wasn't all Swansea. Chelsea had opportunities, but we had the better opportunities. Adley was put through. Adley's chip over the goalkeeper was cleared. And it was that kind of game. We were not firing. Chelsea as well were not taking their chances. And the first half was fairly even. And defensively, we were good. Lewis Jr. made a couple of good saves. And it seemed to me like this was going to peter out to a 0-0 draw. And there was a big scramble in the box there where everybody seemed to fall over. Quite a strange moment. But it remained 0-0. And Swansea, though, we did keep creating chances. And Adley had an absolute blinder of a chance and missed an open goal. It was a very, very strange game indeed. And in the second half it continued pretty much along the same lines. But early in the second half, Brozier had another chance. And I kind of felt this is going to end up as a 0-0 draw. I could have gone more attacking, but I felt that Chelsea were good enough to catch us on the break. Lukaku had a chance and Lewis Jr. made a save. I really was convinced this was going to finish as a 0-0 draw, but it was a Chelsea mistake. Malacia tried to feed through Brozier. It ricocheted off the defender, found Brozier, and Shortire, running into the box, belted it into the net to make it 1-0, and that was it, a 1-0 victory against Chelsea. And pretty much the same happened against Leicester. We are not firing up front at the moment. We're just grinding out results. We created chance after chance after chance against Leicester, but we just didn't look right. Leicester also then if you're not taking your chances, you're always vulnerable. And Leicester created some very good chances. Pavon had a very good chance, but failed to hit the target. It was, again, that kind of game which I thought, we're not going to score, but we just have to be resolute. We just have to keep our defensive shape and hope that we can get the goal. And Barassi had another chance and failed to take it. And again, we are not playing very well at the moment, but we kept pressing forward, and Brozier had another chance which he fired wide, and I felt, now this isn't going to happen. This possibly might be the game that we actually lose. Leicester created some very, very good chances. Fofana heading over the bar there, and it did seem to me that we're just not right at the moment. But eventually Adley found Vitinha in a lot of space, and Vitinha drilled a low shot into the corner, and on 40 minutes it was 1-0. And in the second half it was much of the same. We created a ton of chances but could not take any of them, and the game pretty much was petering out almost to nothing. We never, late on in the game, looked vulnerable, and we kept creating chances. Cambiasso coming in on the underlap, he had a chance, but it was a great save. And that's how it finished. It was Swansea 1, Leicester 0, and we'd managed to keep our 100% record. So we have some very big games coming up now. We have to beat Aston Villa to maintain the distance to Manchester City, to stay on par with Manchester City. And then we are playing in the Champions League against Ludogorets in a group that contains PSV and Borussia Dortmund. So it is going to be a tough group, although Dortmund do not have Haaland, thankfully. And so the team against Aston Villa today is Lewis Jr. in goal, Mailer, Williams, Feet and Malacia at the back, Berg, Pobega, Shortire and Adley in midfield, with Barassi and Vitinha up front. And I'm really hoping that we can get a good result here, keep the pressure on Manchester City. To go 3 points behind now would not be the best situation, and we really need to play well, defend well, and secure an early goal would be good, and secure the 3 points. Aston Villa, very, very dangerous team. Traditionally, they are a quick team, and so we've dropped the line a little bit. We're not going to take any chances against them away from home. They will look for that long ball over the top. I'm very familiar with Aston Villa, and there it is. There is that long ball over the top, but this time he was offside. And so that's the reason why I have dropped the line. There is a danger, though, that by doing this we are not going to be positive enough, that we're not going to be creating chances of our own. And I've just realised I'm in extended highlights, so we'll change that to key highlights. But it is all Aston Villa at the moment. But here is Pobega. Pobega, he's looking for Barassi. Barassi inside to Shortire. Shortire with a beautiful ball to Barassi. Can Barassi score? No, he can't. It's a great save, and it's gone behind for a corner. It remains Aston Villa 0, Swansea 0, and 10 minutes are gone, and it's a fairly even game at the moment, I would say. And Aston Villa, here they are, they're looking to break, and this is what they do, and then they will look to play that diagonal ball, but he's been driven wide, and there's a cross into the box, and that's well defended by Swansea. And that's exactly what we want to do, is to force them wide. We can handle those crosses into the box. It's the diagonal balls that they play that will cause us problems. We know Villa of old. And here they come again. It is all Villa at the moment, and this is a bit of a worry, so I might have to change something. And it might be that I do need to be a bit more aggressive in terms of our pressing lines, as Adley turns up in the penalty area to head clear. And that is an obvious sign that we are a little bit too deep at the moment. And it is all Villa, and we are allowing them to come at us a little bit too much, I think. And there's a header that goes just over the bar. And I think now maybe it is time to do something. So we're going to raise the lines up a little bit. and just try and keep them out of our penalty area a little bit more. But it is Swansea, and here is short tire, and finds its way to Pobega back to Berg. It's lovely to see Berg playing in a Swansea shirt. We've been tracking him for a long time. And finally we've got our man. And it comes out to Malacia. And Malacia finds Adley. And it is Aston Villa 0, Swansea 1. 22 minutes are gone. A beautiful move. And it just came out of nothing. Short tire found Vitinha, and what a delightful ball by Vitinha. Malassi's cross, and Adley in the centre-forward position found himself in acres of space and just side-footed it past the goalkeeper. It is now Aston Villa 0, Swansea 1, and that's a great start. And here come Villa, though. We're still not performing. I've actually decided to cancel the instruction. But Villa have a chance, and that's headed clear. And there's a long ball forward for Vitinha. Vitinha is looking to get across him, but nobody's there in the penalty area. And I think, yes, we are too deep. So having cancelled the instruction, I think we might. And there's another example. And I think we do need to push the lines up, make ourselves more effective in attack. And I think if we can press them a little bit more, a little bit higher up, then we will get the ball in more dangerous positions. But here come Villa, and Villa have a chance, and a long-range shot goes whistling over the bar. And it is Aston Villa 0, Swansea 1, as we're coming up to half-time. Just need to hold on. We'll regroup at half-time. Aston Villa have scored. They have equalised from a set-piece, and well, there's nothing I can do about that. The set pieces either go in or they don't. And this time he had far too much space. It was a good corner. And it is now Aston Villa 1, Swansea 1. It is a blow before half-time. I'm going to just raise the tempo a little bit as well now. Perhaps we're playing it a little bit too cautiously, but here is Barassi. Barassi is through, but he's turned. He looks for Malacia, and Malacia feeds Adley, and Adley has poked it in. That's his second of the game. And just before half-time, an immediate response by the boys, and it is now Aston Villa 1, Swansea 2. I don't think that was anything to do with the instructions to higher the tempo. It hasn't kicked in yet. But Adley found himself in acres of space again and just stabbed it over the line. And at half-time, it is Aston Villa 1, Swansea 2. We just need to keep going. We're doing okay. We don't need to do anything in particular. Oh, that was a great save by Lewis Jr. And I don't know why FM does this. It doesn't show anything, so we'll just skip that. But what a brilliant save by Lewis Jr. from that free kick. And Malacia is looking for Adley. Adley to Berg. Berg finds short tire. And this is nice, playing it around in midfield. We're very strong now, I hope, with the transfers that we've made. And that's a beautiful ball to Short Tire. Short Tire is in, and he should have placed it, but he chose to blast it straight at the goalkeeper. It remains Aston Villa 1, Swansea 2. And I'm a bit concerned that Theet is on a yellow card. We have Buongiorno still injured, and I think I might have to tell Theet to ease off the tackles a little bit. But is that Theet? It is Theet. Theet has gone ploughing into the back of a Aston Villa player, and he is about to get a red card. And with Buongiorno injured, we can not afford to lose a centre-back. We're going to bring Pobega back to centre-back. He is a natural in that position as well as central midfield, and we just need to see the game out now. But Theet, what an absolute donkey, and that might cause us a problem for our next game against Arsenal, and I can only hope that Buongiorno is fit enough in time to return for that game. Otherwise, we may have to play Pobega there or risk playing Armati. And so if we have a look at the schedule, we do have this Champions League game coming up against Ludogorets. It's a game that we should be winning, and we are going to rotate the team a lot. We're going to have some tired players out there now, and I've made a lot of changes for this game. A game we should win. Stankovic has come in goal. Cambiasso, Armati, Theet, Augustinsson at the back. Grimes, Pobega, Hannibal and Lloyd in midfield, with Brozier and Corey White getting a start up front. Corey White, who is developing at a rate of knots and has been very, very much targeted by Premier League teams. He's become a very good rated Premier League striker in a very short time. And it's about time we gave him some proper game time to see what he can do. And this is a game that we should win, although we have a very weakened team. It's a game that we should win quite easily, and we had a chance there in the first few minutes, but it was given offside. Again, I'm getting a lot of these at the moment, this VAR goal line technology stuff, but it actually doesn't show you anything, so I'm not quite sure why they've put that in. Take it out, FM, it doesn't make any difference. And here comes Augustinsson, but we've lost the ball in midfield, but we've gained it back, and Hannibal brings it forward, and he's looking for Brozier, and Brozier has hit the post. And what a chance. We need an early goal. We need to settle the boys. This is a team that are not familiar with each other. They don't play regularly. And here is Corey White. And Corey White, he's just blasted it over the bar. It is all Swansea. That was a poor free kick, and Armati is going to collect the long clearance. Armati looking for someone to pass it to. Eventually finds Theet. Theet back to Armati. It's very slow, very deliberate. That's how we're set up to play. Hannibal finds Lloyd. Lloyd into space for Brozier, and Brozier's in, and Brozier scored. It is Ludogorets 0, Swansea 1, but they are checking for offside. But the goal is awarded. We are 1-0 up. It's a good start. That's what we wanted. Lloyd with a delightful pass over the top. And finally, Brozier has put one into the corner. He's not scored a goal for a little while, and it was a delightful pass from Lloyd. Lloyd is a young boy. We have a lot of faith in him, and he's only 2-star at the moment, but boy, is he becoming a very, very good midfielder. And I just want to tell them, keep going. You're doing very, very well, but we need to build on this. We need to score the second goal and ease the pressure a little bit. But it is Ludogorets coming forward, and that was a chance, and that was a terrible, terrible shot, and that goes harmlessly wide. We can't rest on our laurels here. We've got to take this game very seriously. We're going to demand more of the players, as here is Corey White coming deep. And Hannibal looks for White again. But again, we've lost the ball in midfield. This is unusual for this Swansea team. We're not firing particularly well at the moment. But we are grinding out results, which is always a good sign. But there's something lacking in this team for me. And here's White, and White has scored the second. The referee, though, I think is going to check VAR once again. But what a delightful move that was. And has Corey White got himself on the scoreboard? No, he hasn't. The goal has been disallowed. It remains Ludogorets 0, Swansea 1. And, oh boy, that was just about as close as it could possibly be. I'd have given that without a shadow of a doubt. It was a lovely volley by Corey White, and it would have been nice to see him get on the score sheet today. But here come Ludogorets again, and looking to get a cross in, and they do, and they've hit the crossbar, and that is a warning. We have to take this very small team very seriously, and if we don't, they will punish us. And they do have a corner, and that's fired in, but headed away. And the Ludogorets are looking to build again, and he's in acres of space, and a volley from outside the box goes clean over the bar. I think I need to make some changes now, because we are not looking safe. And there's a chance, and Brozier at the far post. He should have made it 2-0. He didn't. And it would have been easier to score than to miss there. It was just open goal. But we do have a free kick. Augustinson is over the free kick. And Augustinson has scored. And finally, we've got that second goal in the 70th minute. And Augustinson, beautiful free kick. Goalkeeper, absolutely no chance of stopping that. And it now is Ludogorets 0, Swansea 2. And I feel a little bit happier. And we have another free kick on Augustinson again. And he's clipped the bar with that one. And that would have made it 3-0. And that would have been a better looking scoreline. We should have done a lot better than this. But we do have a weakened team. And I got to remember that. This is nowhere near the first team. And Ludogorets are looking to come forward again. And he skinned the fullback there. And that's a poor cross, which goes harmlessly across the penalty area. But they do have another chance. And that's a great save by Lewis Jr. And he collects the rebound quite easily. And yeah, I mean, I sometimes forget that we are playing with a very weakened team. And I tend to be a bit hard on the boys. But we are winning, and that's what we need to do in these group games. As Mailer comes forward, Mailer, he looks inside, but that's a poor cross, and Ludogorets are able to clear, but it's a very poor clearance. And here's Corey White, and boy, oh boy, did he strike that. What a strike that was from Corey White. I am absolutely delighted for him. What a goal that was. Ludogorets made an error at the back, and Brozier's header was met on the volley, and that went in like a bullet. And Corey White has made my day. He's made it 3-0, and now we are looking much more comfortable in terms of the scoreline. It hasn't been an easy game by any stretch of the imagination, but we are just slightly better than them. We're set up better. And we've played the game in a much better way than they have. And we deserve the 3 points. And we deserve the start that we're having to this group. As Augustinson finds Brozier. Do we have one more goal left in us? And Augustinson finds Berg. Berg, Grimes, Hannibal, passing it about. Here is Ben Lloyd, who's having another lovely game. But that comes to nothing. And the ball is cleared. And here is Lloyd again. Lloyd looks for Mailer. Mailer, he's charging down the right. He's looking inside for Lloyd again, who's having a lovely game. Hannibal to Berg. Berg to Brozier. Brozier's in. It is 4-0. And that makes it much more respectable. But once again, the officials are going to check VAR. And is it a goal? It looks like it's been given to me. I suspected he was onside. And Berg's pass to Brozier. Brozier gets his second of the game. It's now Ludogorets 4-0, Swansea 4, and that makes it a lot more respectable. And hopefully now we can build on this. We can start scoring some goals again. And I'm so pleased for Corey White. Absolutely fabulous strike. And we are top of the group. But it's there's a long way to go in this group. Borussia Dortmund beat PSV by 4-1, and so, as I suspected, it might be between the two of us for the top spot. So let's have a look at the schedule and what's coming up. We have a lot of tough games coming up, especially with the injuries that we have at the moment. But I think what we'll do is we'll play through probably come back for Watford and Borussia Dortmund, unless the fixtures change in some way. But that would be the plan as it stands at the moment, to come back in the middle of October and see Watford and Borussia Dortmund and see how we get on in Premier League and the Champions League. And that's it for this video. If you are a first-time visitor, then why not subscribe, watch, like and comment. Help the channel to grow and help us to support the very worthwhile cause that you can see scrolling above. And all that remains to be said now from a very happy yet a little nervous Liberty Stadium is we'll see you next time, and we will see you for Watford and Borussia Dortmund.